I think this just might be the best view from a pool that I've ever had. It feels like I'm swimming in the ocean. And Annika wants to go into the ocean and jump out of the pool onto beach road. Oh! Wow! We have now come to a little sunset walk on Beach Road, which is just in between the sea and Novotel. We're, I think, a couple of 100 meters away from Novotel to the, I think, to south, which is where my very first apartment here in Visakhapatnam was. I'm just like really looking forward to seeing the exact locations where I used to live here and seeing how everything has changed, because there has been quite a lot of development and changes throughout the past 3 years, which I have already been able to see. And then like around the sunset time, Beach Road also turns into the like one of the most popular tourist spots with lots of street vendors and food stalls here, and it's just a very pleasant place to enjoy the evening, enjoy the beautiful views, and just spend time as a tourist or as a family.
Man, those scooters. Yes, those scooters.
One thing that's definitely new here in the neighborhood is all this really colorful street art here behind us. It wasn't here when I was living here, but it gives like a really nice touch to the area. Like earlier during my all the like morning walks and everything, I would have just like loved to be looking at all of this. And like overall, anywhere in India, the colorful street art is one of my favorite things in the cities. And I have to admit, I kind of miss it because we don't have it in the middle of the jungle. Hello! I know it behind me, but here is where my first apartment alone here in Visakhapatnam was all of 6 years ago. But now it has turned into a fine dining resto bar. That seems so weird.
Oh, this was always, I think your house was, the building behind this was where you lived.
Yeah, it looks much like newer then.
Oh, yeah,
and much a nicer building.
Yes. Mama is taking Camilla. This Mama kiwi.
It's really just quite mind-blowing to see these old places from Vinod's and mine history and showing them to Annika too. And seeing how much everything has changed. Like, okay, we have changed too, but it's like, in my memories, it's always a certain way. And now let's go to the next apartment, which we have to basically walk to, going through the like whole beach road. Annika will love it. But Vinod, I was just telling the camera that Beach Road is one of the like rare things in Visakhapatnam and all over India, which makes me regret that we didn't take a stroller with us. But then anywhere else, it's not worth it. Annika is also telling her opinion. She's Gusha.
Annika.
Mennan. Annika, mennan.
Gusha?
Mennan. Tule.
Gusha Annika?
Annika. Oh.
No.
So behind me you can well see that all the food places are preparing for the busy sunset hours when everyone like us gathers here to enjoy the weather, which is again just like so pleasant. It's cool, windy, very cloudy. I'll give it a 10.
Going, yeah, it's going.
Okay, we have now reached back to Novotel, and what's behind us is basically the quiet part of Beach Road, and from Novotel onwards to Park Hotel, that's the really busy part of Beach Road, where most of the hustle and bustle and all of the attractions are. You have all the most of the stalls there, then you have a gazillion cafes and restaurants, or at least you used to have. We'll have to check on this walk. And then there's more hotels, and there's also because there's lots of Navy presence in this city, so there's also some Navy museums and memorials, and I think that there's still also lots of statues for all of these remarkable figures in the Andhra history. So we'll also take a look of those and maybe teach Annika a little bit of something.
Eagle.
Oh! Annika näki kotkan.
Mama, show it to Mama. Mama,
Annika,
eagle.
missä?
Upal.
Oh! Annika wants to fly. So there we have Novotel, and on the other side is the Gateway Hotel, and I think you can see why we chose to shift. There you can make your comparisons. Annika, bussi!
Round and round, Annika, yes?
Round and round. There is the RK Beach. Apparently where we are going now. Annika decides. I guess it's better to take this little water monster to the beach before it gets way too dark, which is apparently what most of Vizag has been thinking today. It's surprisingly crowded.
MP. Annika, say bye-bye, MP.
Hey, Pa.
Bye-bye. No. Oh, Annika, bring the MP. It's a lively beach on weekday.
Yeah. Oh, but I don't think it matters that much if it's weekday or weekend. It's gonna be a real hustle and bustle here. Oh. And maybe more than anything, Annika here is completely obsessed with balloons. Happy, happy. Oh, you should see her face. She's so happy. Taking a walk in all of this crowd. It's not a bad idea to buy a colorful big balloon to your baby. You will be able to easily find them, even if you would happen to lose daddy and daughter for just a minute because you are dragging behind with the camera. Oh, she likes it here. Oi, Annika, älä. Wow! Oh, she wants to give her balloon to the camera.
No. Annika, let's go.
Annika, mennään. Oi, Annika, sillä on toinen heppa. She is making a very strong case on
this,
getting
Annika?
to ride a horse.
Annika, what is this? Horse.
Annika, heppa.
This is Annika horse. Knee.
Annika?
खाली एक ही साइड लेके जाओ खाली.
Wow!
Okay.
So happy.
Okay.
Oh, Annika ratsastaa. Koppati, 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 koppati. Annika ratsastaa.
This is the bit.
Dulla, dulla.
Oh, shall we take?
Huh?
Go the other. Dola. Okay. Take it.
Wow, Annika. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get her off of this. Oi. No. Mennään.
Kuulla, we will have to get Annika her own horse.
I'm still waiting for Vinod and Annika to get up here because I think Annika found some new friends. Right behind me there on the other side of the street used to be a cafe where Vinod and I had our very first date here in Visakhapatnam. Oh, and now here I found them. See, Vinod, percolator doesn't exist anymore. That is actually quite sad. It was a fancy, expensive cafe. Wow! Yeah, one thing that's like really popular here in Vizag is all these kinds of like childlike animal and like other statues too, which makes it like a really popular hangout for families because kids like many kids like Annika just go crazy about these dinos. There used to be some signs that had at least a name in Latin alphabet.
I seriously want to know who he is, but yep.
Quite a few new things have popped up around here. One of the cutest things is here just behind me. We think it might be some ice cream place, but once again I have no idea because there was one sign saying one thing, then it looked completely different, and another sign in Telugu. Who knows? We would have to go and try to figure it out. But I think we're gonna be looking for some nice juice place and maybe, I don't know, maybe no snacks. We had a heavy meal already today. I warned Vinod. I warned you. You also have lots of these food courts here on the beach road. I warned Vinod that there is this amusement park area, so Annika would want to come here. I'm very much hoping that we can drag her out of this place. Like I said, we're never gonna get Annika out of here. Okay, it's really dark now and you can't see what is behind there, behind this new thick shake factory, because basically everything takes so long with Annika and I just keep overestimating our speed. But there is Andhra University's yoga village. I'm not sure if it's like that you can freely go and pay for one day or one session, but I at least used to have this monthly membership to go practice my yoga there. It's a really pretty place, a really good yogi there, and I really enjoyed going. So hopefully there would be also some options for kind of visiting yogis to go and practice on their mat here. If this offers such a chance, it is a really good option. I have to say that Beach Road is otherwise also really good for all of the visiting athletes and active people. It's really good for your morning runs. I can see that they have added lots of outdoor gym stuff in many different locations here along the road. And what's best, you won't be really sweating too much because the breeze is here every day, all day long. So it's a really good thing. Just don't be carrying your backpack like I am doing right now. My back is just drenched with sweat. For us, this long walk with Annika is quite a good evening exercise. Can you remember, did this used to be the place where we got egg dosa?
Yeah.
It's completely different. And it looks like this place also no longer has the cafe or restaurant that I used to go to every day when I was living nearby. And that's where I was first introduced to dosas in the form of egg dosa, which I know sounds really weird, but it was surprisingly amazing, and that's where my forever lasting love for dosa started. And lots of statues still here. Now I need to find Annika and Papa. There's a submarine museum there on the other side, which I think is pretty difficult to see because it's a really dark background. That's an old museum. Here on my left side we have a naval aircraft museum, which is a pretty new one. I have to admit, to my shame, that I have never visited any of these naval museums here, even though I've been living for a long time at a walking distance, but they have always had a very long queue going into them, but they are like hugely popular destinations to visit when you come to Visakhapatnam. And I'm really fascinated with the Indian history and all of the wartime movies and all those. So I really recommend that if you come here, you go and visit, and maybe tomorrow we will be able to squeeze in a visit. Let's see. I won't be holding my breath because we have a really busy day before we leave the city. And here is of course the Victory at Sea Memorial. Okay guys, if you want to be completely accurate, my first apartment that I had is here right behind this food court area. When I first got to Visakhapatnam, I was living for a month at the local YMCA, and oh, those were the days. It feels like another life, but yeah, it did feel good eventually to shift from there to an actual apartment of my own, where I kind of had a kitchen. Like I had a little gas stove and one pan, and I was able to cook my own breakfast, and that felt very fancy at the time. And while I was vlogging, Annika has again found new friends. Oh!
Okay, Annika.
Annika, no.
Oh, he doesn't want them. Okay, let's go.
Annika sanoo bye bye.
Bye bye, Annika.
Bye bye. Mitä Annika tiikeri sanoo? Wow.
हाँ बीजो ऊपर नहीं बीजो बाय बाय Hey girl, Annika.
We have finally reached Kirlampudi layout at the other end of Beach Road, and now we're, I think, just like a couple of 100 meters away from the first house that Vinod and I kind of officially lived in together before we got married, mind you. It probably would have been really interesting if I had been doing like any kind of proper videos back then. I was mainly trying to get like my Instagram running. I think, yeah, we traveled a lot back then. I was like basically on the move every month somewhere around India, traveling solo, traveling with Vinod at a very low budget, doing all these like bike trips and everything, traveling by train and all of that. And then of course here in Visakhapatnam, it's not that kind of like international city really, or especially wasn't back then. It would have been like maybe interesting to offer my perspective on like a living partnership, but yeah, there are some things that I might regret. But now, oh, what has happened? It looks a little different next to it, but wait, here is the building where we were earlier living together. Now I really want to find Vinod to get him to take a photo of me and Annika in front of it, because I was really hoping to get these kinds of memories from the places that we have been living together, and then bringing the baby there to see how our relationship has progressed from back then. because basically Visakhapatnam is where we took all the like proper first steps to our relationship and got married, and then relocated to Kerala, where I started the whole vlogging journey and everything. It's really weird, but it still feels a little bit like home. Lisa. Cheers.
Cheers.
For the past 6 years.